Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I'm building a family home. I was just in the mood to do something maybe a little bit suburban, but just a family home. And I wanted to play around with roof lines and have it be a two-story home. So you can see I'm starting with just trying to build out the roof structure in the front here. But this ends up being a pretty spacious home. I'm trying to think. I think there are 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, an office, and there's another room. I can't think of what it is right now, but a garage. That was one thing that I did majorly large in this house. Is there's a big garage space that has a couple of functional items, but I also put a debug car in there, and I think it comes out really cute in the end. And it's kind of expensive, but I mean, it's a pretty big house. It's 94,000 simoleons and change. And if you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Miss Gryphi, and this information is also in the description down below as well. And you'll be happy to know, I believe this should be my last video with me having the sort of raspy getting over a cold voice, because this is the last video I am recording before I leave for TwitchCon. And I'm getting better. So this should be the last one. I have a couple of videos I recorded before this that'll be coming out before I get back. And then I will be back and hopefully sound completely normal, and I'm so excited. But anyway, this house is starting to come together. I really wanted it to be a simple shape, but I do actually end up extending it and adding a garage over on the side, but I do think it looks really cute like this. I'm using windows primarily from Snowy Escape, with the exception of the one on the top floor I just placed down, which is from Get Famous. I think that one's really pretty, and I was thinking these like really classic flower boxes from Get Famous, but I got rid of those in the end, and I believe I used one from, I think, Cottage Living? No, I used ones from University in the end, and this house ends up being gray and blue on the outside, but I think it looks really nice, these dark colors with the contrast of the white windows. I was just really, really happy with it, so that's what we ended up going for, and I'm just changing the wall height so many times because I think the medium wall height doors are a lot nicer, and you can put them on short wall height with the, if you put on move objects, you just have to then lower the walls back down and they clip a little bit, so it depends on where you place them on if they work properly or not. Well, I mean, it will work properly, it just might be protruding through the second floor, which could get in the way of how you're decorating or figuring out the floor plan and stuff like that, but it only goes up a little bit on the top floor, so it's no problem whatsoever. But yeah, just figuring out some windows over here. It kind of looks like a face, and I was trying to make it not look like a face. I think that helps by putting the windows together. And I also have a bump out over here in the front, which I think helped the shape of the house. And I will be playing with terrain manipulation here so that the driveway actually lines up, but we still have a staircase up to the front door, so I'm just gonna be slightly doing that. And I also decided to add a bump out over here above the garage. It's ever so slight, and this ends up being a really weird space inside that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with, but I was really happy with how the floor plan ended up in the end, because it's a very funky shape. As you can see, there's some like narrow 1x2 spaces on either side. You'll see it clear when we get inside to the floor plan, but I was just really impressed that I was able to figure it out, because it was very confusing, and I was like sad that it looks so good on the outside, but I didn't know what to do on the inside. But it came out okay in the end. I figured it out, and I'm very happy with it. And so I will hope you will all enjoy it as well. So right now I'm just doing some terrain paint, and I grabbed this car. I looked at a few different ones, but I ended up going with this one from Cottage Living, and I think the yellow just looks so nice popping against the grays and the blues, and then just doing some landscaping. I was going for a little bit more of a structured look, and I think it looks really pretty. Something about this house just feels like it pops, and I don't really know why, but I love this style of home, and I haven't been doing suburbans that often, or like things like this. I feel like lately it's been a lot of apartments, and I've been posting some of those recently, what day is this going up? I have, I think, more coming. I've been having so much fun. I did like a witchy apartment, a secret alien apartment. I let my best friend design an apartment, and they've just been a blast, but every once in a while it's nice to build like a full house like this as well. And I have another one hopefully coming out sometime over the next week that I built that I have to finish editing because it was a long build, but Oh my gosh, I'm very excited about it. It's a bit of a cute overgrown cottage, perhaps you might want to keep your eyes out for. But back to this build, which isn't overgrown, but I am working on the landscaping now and definitely using quite a bit of tool to lower and move around some of these bushes on the side of the lot and some of the flowers in the front as well. It really helps to move things how you want them, especially because when you're playing with terrain manipulation, plants will float to the highest point of the terrain, so having the ability to push them down into the ground with the tool mod is so helpful. So I was very happy about that. Here I'm just playing around with the flooring and not liking it, so I ended up doing this instead, where I have brick on 2 of the sides and then like a stripe down the middle. I think it looks really cute. So that is what I ended up doing, but I think for some reason that got deleted in the end, so I don't think that's present in the final version. Because when I was placing tile out back, it automatically changed all the tile out front as well, which is kind of funny, but that's okay. I think it's a very minor detail and something easy to add back if you prefer the brick look that I had here. But here on the front porch, I wanted like some sort of decoration, so I decided to put down a chair with a plant on it. It was floating ever so slightly, so I decided to use the red shelf to place that. It's a CC item that I use. It helps me place things more precisely, and it is always linked in the description down below if you're interested in grabbing that. And then of course just getting some lighting on the front porch. I end up having those out the back as well, but I wanted to figure out the floor plan before I figured out the back of the house because I had no idea where I wanted anything to be. And we're starting with the staircase, and this is actually the floor plan I essentially kept. I know it looks really wild right now, but it actually worked out really well in the end, and I was surprised. So there ends up being 2 bedrooms over in this side of the build. They're like kind of long, narrow rooms, but I don't think they're that bad of a size. They're just really long. I do play around with how I want them to be laid out as far as like the entry to the hallway. I move it around quite a few times, as you can see, and this is what worked best. And then I was able to fit a hall bath, and then the primary bedroom has an ensuite and a walk-in closet. So that was fun. That's what that strange space in those dormers ends up being. So it worked out quite well. And then downstairs, we of course have the garage space, an office in the front, a living room out back. And then this is going to be where the kitchen space and then the dining room in the front is going to be. And it's very sectioned off. I was thinking this house would have a more closed off floor plan, but some of the furniture I have being a little bit more modern. I didn't think this was a like super modern house, but I was thinking maybe it was renovated somewhat recently. That was the idea behind it. And actually the office space, I end up kind of working out to be sort of a space that I was thinking maybe the kids could be homeschooled from. That's why the title of this video is that. And so it has like a parent's like computer or whoever's computer. And then I have a couple of the art tables that look like little kids' desks in there, and I was thinking maybe the kids study in that room, and I thought it would be a fun idea. And there's not like a really great way to do that in the game, but I thought that resembled the idea. And of course the kids could use the computer and stuff too, but I thought that those little art tables were a really cute addition. And I was thinking this household, the kids were like somewhere between just became a kid and almost a teenager. Like they're in the kid stage, but like you can decide for whatever kids you have, who you want them to be. But I do have 2 bedrooms here, and they're very color themed. I just decided I wanted a blue kid and a red kid. And those were that's how I decorated the rooms, which was really fun because I don't normally decorate like a red colored room. And I really, really enjoyed that one. So I'm excited for you to see it. But right now we're working on the entryway. I also decided there was going to be a dog in this household. So we have like dog leashes by the front door, and I believe we got some treats up top as well. And of course, there's a couple of backpacks throughout the house for the kids. Since I really wanted this to be a family home, I wanted to have like sprinklings of like the family actually existing in the space, not everything being perfect in its place. I mean, it's pretty organized, but there's still backpacks around the space and like books out and about and things like that. And I think it just ends up being really charming in the end. Just trying to figure out what to put in this other corner. It felt really empty. So I'm gonna be looking through the catalog, looking for some stuff, but I also wanted to have some clutter on the top of this shelf. I believe I just got some dog treats up there in this little plant. I think that's pretty realistic to just have some excess stuff. I know I keep like some treats and stuff by the door and by my dog's crate and things like that because it's a good little treat and motivator, and it's good for training as well. So anyway, this is the living room. I, of course, have a beautiful giant fireplace from Cats and Dogs, and I used this couch from Dream Home Decorator. I think it's really colorful and playful. I think it's kind of a nice family couch. For some reason, couches that are colorful with pillows, I'm like, this is for a family. And I quite enjoy that, even though that wasn't really my experience, but I do like to do that in the same. So I ended up just doing 2 of those couches in here, and then I'm trying to line up the curtains on either side from the Desert Luxe kit. I end up changing the color of them a couple of different times in game, and the couches change as well. I believe they end up being green in the end, but I kept changing my mind based on what other decorations I put down, and it just evolved over time, but I think it came out cool. This is a little bit of a different layout. I feel like I've done it recently, but I don't often put the couches across from each other like that. I tend to face them towards the television. But this is the layout that worked the best in this room. So that's what I ended up going with in the end. And there are some additional curtains. And then I do change them to like this brownish red, but later on they end up being green and go with the green sofas. And it just changes a lot, but it's fine. It's good to show the process. I know a lot of times when I get comments that you enjoy seeing things from start to finish, but I don't like to keep it all in because all of my videos would be so long and drawn out, and I'd be like, and then I'm changing the color. And then I'm changing it again. And I don't think that would be very fun to watch. But I did add some more like kids clutter over here. There's some of their drawings. We have the parenthood board, some toys over here. I also added a dog toy box in here. And there's one out in the backyard as well. And then I'm just drawing on some paneling and stuff. And just trying to give the walls a little bit more texture and interest so they're not all the same. I like to split it up a little bit, even though, at least in my experience, all of the places I've lived, all the walls are the same. I like to, in The Sims, give them a little bit more personality. So yeah, just adjusting some of the stuff over here. And I also decided to add a basket on the bottom shelf full of blankets. This is the one from Cats and Dogs. It can't snap to the shelf, so I don't know why I was trying to do that, but it did raise up pretty much perfectly with the 9 and 0 keys. So I was happy with that. And then moving on into the kitchen, which I heavily use Parenthood in. These are just such beautiful counters. I used to overuse these way more than I do now. I feel like my current ones that I overuse are the ones from Dream Home Decorator, but Parenthood, counters, all of Parenthood. I think that pack has some beautiful build assets, buy assets, whatever you want to call them. So I definitely used a lot of that in here. I'm using obviously the counters and the cabinets. I'm using the fridge, the tile, like it's just so good. So I had to do that. So this very blue kitchen. This whole house has a lot of blue and green in it, which makes sense. We have a ton of blue and green swatches in the game. So that worked nicely for like a colorful, friendly vibe. And I also wanted to put a shelf over here over the table. I really like this one. It's from Cool Kitchen. It has like some pastas and spices and then some really pretty frames up top and then just getting some more clutter in here. I believe I add those plates and like there's a knife block and like a bread box and things like that in here. And I'm just playing around with curtains because I really didn't know what I wanted. I think I just went with the My First Pet stuff ones in the end. Yeah, those are always a good one to choose. They're just so simple. That's definitely the best item from that particular stuff pack. Speaking of which, I've asked this a couple of times recently, but I'm very curious if you think we will get any more stuff packs or what you think the announcement on the 18th is. I've been asking constantly, but it's all I can think about. So I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to get another stuff pack. I really missed them. And the last one was paranormal and it was so good. I love the paranormal stuff pack so much. And it would just be so nice to have another pack of that quality. I don't even care what the theme is. I would like another stuff pack. Kits aren't as bad as I used to think they are, but they're not the same. I miss stuff packs. And some of the kits have been really cute though. And I would love to have a clutter kit. And I did tweet The Sims and ask if I can help them on a clutter kit. No, I haven't heard back. I don't think I will. But thank you to everyone that retweeted that or suggested that was a good idea. I really appreciate it. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, this is going to be the formal dining space. We do have a table in the kitchen as well. And then I just have a smaller little dining space in here. It's kind of cute. It's nothing too special. I just have a plant, a hutch, an extra chair in the corner. This wall, I spent legitimately 20 minutes trying to figure out what to put on. I ended up just putting a painting. Not very exciting, but it took so long to figure out. Sometimes you just really get stuck and can't figure out what to put in one space of a home, and that happens to me a lot. And then just getting a couple more decorations over here. I like putting that plate from Parenthood. We also got a fruit bowl, and I think that's pretty much it for that room. It's a really small one, so you can't fit too much in that space anyway. Did I end up adding another plant in here? I did. You just gotta have a plant in every corner. It's really important. Anyway, this is going to be the garage space. As you can see, I already have a vehicle in here, and then I wanted to get some shelving as well as laundry, some extra storage. I have another bike in here. I believe we got like the stacked washers over here, and then I moved them to not be stacked anymore because I felt like this layout was just a little bit odd and I wanted to change it up. So I put this over here, and then we have the shelves by the door, the bike up in the front, and I think it just works a lot better this way. Obviously, the car is taking up a lot of space. You could delete that and put any of your skill building items here, any of the like giant ones you need for careers. This would be a good spot for it, but I did get some like fun clutter. So we have some stacked tires over here. I also have the seasons box for decorations. I like to keep that in garages or attics or basements because it's just like an item I don't think you'd have out in the open very often, but it's very useful for decorating for the holidays. So I enjoyed adding that, and we have a chalkboard as well. And now we're moving into the office that I had mentioned earlier. So we just have a desk and a computer and stuff over here. And then over on the other side, I end up having the art tables. I put down a few different ones. I was trying to figure out which one I like the best. And I think I like this one the best because it looks so much like a school desk. So I ended up putting those over here, and like a little chalkboard of like maybe planning out lessons. And there ends up being a bookcase over here as well. It's the matching one that I put in the living room. They're both from the kids' room stuff pack. I think they're really nice because I have all the buckets and they're like bright colors, things like that. So it doesn't look like it's just books. There could be all kinds of storage stuff. Maybe they have some of their projects they've worked on in there or papers, and I just really like that. I also put a guitar over in the corner as another skill building item, and another storage piece over there with the ottoman. I thought that was quite cute. And then we just got a toy and another book bag. I think that room came out really cute. Obviously inspired the title of this video. If you want me to expand more on that idea in the future, or if you have ever done a build for like homeschooled kids, do let me know. I would love to hear more about maybe revisiting this concept in the future. It was just something that came to mind while I was decorating this house. So I thought I would incorporate it. Anyway, this is the primary bedroom. You can see I altered the walls a little bit here. So you walk through this door into a walk-in closet, and then through the walk-in closet, you can go into the bathroom. And then the bathroom has 2 toilets that each have their own room. So it's a very strange space, but it works so nicely. And I think it looks very luxurious and just really nice. Something I don't think I've ever seen, but I enjoyed incorporating it in The Sims. And since the toilets are in separate rooms, you don't have the embarrassment problem. There's also a really beautiful tub in that room. It just seems like such a nice bathroom, and I think your Sims are really going to enjoy it. So anyway, over here, I am just getting a couple more decorations. I got some plants and stuff, some hearts on the walls, because I was thinking the Sims that are here are just so in love or something like that. It just seems like a nice little family home decoration. I also just really like those hearts. They are from Outdoor Retreat. I tend to use the rainbow swatch on them a lot because it's really pretty and LGBTQ. And so this is the walk-in closet. I just have a bunch of clothes in here, some shoes, some storage, and like a little rug and a mirror in the corner. I thought it was a good use of space, and then you just walk through into the bathroom. And this space is so pretty. Look at the tub. I wanted to have it in front of the windows, but because of the layout of where the doors were, the best spot to do it was like this. But you still are going to have a nice view if you want to hang out in the tub and look out the window. It looks really nice, and we have a floating vanity, and yeah, just a cozy little space. Also decided to get another towel hanging up above the bathtub, which is from the fitness stuff pack, and a fluffy rug in here. And I think that's pretty much it for that space. Yep, just getting some curtains in the bathrooms, and then moving on into the kids' room. So this is the blue room. Obviously, it has some red in it because of the bed I chose from the high school pack. It's blue and red, but it's primarily a blue room, and I was thinking this kid was into sports. So that is what I went with in this room. And I think it just looks really realistic and cozy. And I don't think this is a bad size room. In The Sims, I feel like when something is only 3 tiles long in one direction, we tend to think it's kind of small, but I think this is more realistic to real life on what you might actually have for a bedroom size. I think my bedroom growing up was a little bit smaller than this one, actually. So I think it's totally fine, and I think this is a good size room. So just adding some more sports posters and trying to figure out a rug. I ended up going with a blue one in the end, but I was trying to not do everything blue, even though the whole theme was blue. But I thought this one looked the best out of all the ones I tried, and then just getting a little lamp over here, and I think like a book or something on the desk, plus some pencils and stuff. Oh, I got the flying Womp Womp. He is so cute. That's like the mascot from high school years, and he's blue, so he matched the theme in here, and also got a football. This kid might be almost a teenager, I'm thinking, but I think their space is very cute, and I, of course, had to add that basket of all of the clothes, and I think we got some more posters over here as well, because that's my favorite thing to add to kids' rooms and teenagers' rooms. So we have a framed jersey. I also got some of these trophies over here, and I feel like there is one more poster. Yeah, there it is. So that is pretty much it for that room, and we'll be moving on into the red room, which is like red, pink, and black. Started with this bed, and then I saw this swatch of the like Bigfoot or Sasquatch plushie, and I was like, yes. And then we added purple in with that curtain, and I just feel like this room is really starting to come together with the colors right now. I think it's a really fun one. And then I started adding some like cutesy posters, like anime related, and that just ends up being the vibe in here. I think this kid is a little bit younger, but I love their room so much. They also are into reading. I was thinking maybe they were really into manga. So I have a little bookcase over here, and we end up getting some clutter on the floor to make it look a little bit more messy. But I ended up deleting it in the end because I think it got in the way of routing, and I wanted to make sure your Sims could actually get in this space and use it. So I decided we didn't need to keep that in the end. And then I'm just going to get a dresser to put over here in this back corner. And I believe we got a mirror above it. Yeah, I grabbed this one from university. I think it works nicely. I love the wallpaper I used in here. It looks like little paint swatches are all over the walls. And I also added some string lights with like pictures of their friends. I thought about adding the pillow on the ground. I don't think I did in the end. I think I added the stack of pillows. It's like a chair from the toddler stuff pack, if I'm remembering correctly. And I moved some of these paintings over, and should be deleting that clutter. And that's it for this build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you have not already, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thanks for watching. Bye, everyone.